Week 6 picks, over unders, money lines, what's the spread, and I'm gonna give you guys all my predictions plus picks that are for sure locks. We're gonna talk about all that stuff right now. So the first game on the list, guys, is San Francisco 49ers versus the Atlanta Falcons. The 49ers are actually projected to win by -4.5, and honestly, I'll probably take the spread for the 49ers. The defense for the 49ers is actually still. There are some starters for the defense and the offense that may be missing, but I still believe the defense for the 49ers is elite, and the top 5 right now in the NFL for surely take down the Atlanta Falcons at Atlanta. So the next game on the list, guys, is the New England Patriots versus the Cleveland Browns at Cleveland. Nick Chubb has been the rushing leader since week 1 and heading into week 6. It's no different. Nick Chubb is extraordinary. But right now, the spread is -2 for the Cleveland Browns, having the New England Patriots as underdogs. But honestly, guys, I do believe Bill Belichick does have a scheme and a plan in place to stop the rushing attack for the Cleveland Browns, maybe stacking up the box and forcing Jacoby Brissett to throw the ball, which he hasn't been extraordinary in the passing game. The running game for the Browns have been extraordinary, but if the Patriots could stop the running game like everybody else has tried, they could actually win this game. I'll probably take the Patriots plus 2.5 for this one. Next game on the list, guys, the New York Jets versus the Green Bay Packers, where they are favored to win by -7.5 points. Now, actually, guys, I do believe the Packers have something to prove versus a very extraordinary passing defense for the Jets. Sauce Gardner has been elite along with his other counterpart in the other side of the defenses. So it's going to be very interesting just to see who Aaron Rodgers is going to throw it to this weekend, because the defense for the passing attack for the Jets has been extraordinary, and their D-line has been somewhat decent, but Aaron Rodgers does have to extend the plays. I'll probably take the Packers money line for this one, because I just think even though 7.5 points is a lot, Aaron Rodgers will either blow them out or it's going to be a close game, and I would rather take a sure pick with the Packers money line. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts. This is probably the closest spread of the week, with the Colts being the favorite -1.5, and I do believe I'll probably take the Colts money line for this one. It's just a way too close of a game. The Jaguar defense, of course, is elite, but I do believe Matt Ryan and Michael Pittman would put up numbers on this defense, because the Jaguars offense right now, it's not doing any movement. Trevor Lawrence is not taking care of the ball, has many offensive errors and offensive turnovers that most likely the Colts will capitalize. So I'll probably take the Colts money line for this game as well. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Miami Dolphins. So first off, I will be live streaming this game. The Minnesota Vikings are favored to win by 3 points or more. Tua and Teddy Bridgewater have both passed concussion protocol, but Tua has already been ruled out for this upcoming game for the Minnesota Vikings, and Teddy Bridgewater has been ruled in, but it's going to be the backup of the rookie of Skylar Thompson. Now, I don't have too much confidence in the rookie, even though last week he was basically thrown into the fire, and I just don't believe the Miami defense has enough defensive power in order to stop Jefferson or Dalvin Cook. So I'll probably take the Minnesota Vikings spread here of -3. The next game on the list, guys, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the New Orleans Saints. There's been many questions that the Cincinnati Bengals cannot protect Joe Burrows, and the D-line for the Saints has been incredible. Now, can this D-line get through the O-line and put pressure on Joe Burrows, sack him a couple times? Right now, he's one of the most sacked QBs other than Carson Wentz right now. So I do believe the Saints D-line will put a lot of pressure on Joe Burrows, forcing him to make a lot of mistakes. But this spread right here of -3 for the Bengals, I will probably, honestly, guys, I'll probably take the Saints spread of +3 for this one. I do believe the Bengals will probably win by a field goal, but the Saints will probably cover that spread. The Baltimore Ravens versus the New York Giants. The Giants, guys, are 4-1. They've been playing extraordinary. Now, how well can this defense slow down Lamar Jackson? Well, first off, guys, disclaimer, I do believe Lamar Jackson should have got paid before the season, and I do believe he's putting up MVP type numbers right now. He's one of the top 5 front runners, in my opinion, to win MVP. So how can this Giants defense slow Lamar Jackson down? Right now, the spread is for the Baltimore Ravens to win by 5.5. I'll probably most likely take the Giants spread right here. It's just way too many points. I do believe it probably either be a shootout or a defensive battle, but I do believe it's going to be a close game no matter what. I do believe the Giants spread will be the best bet here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett did pretty decently last week, passing for more than 300 yards last week in his first start as a rookie. Now, even though they did not put up points against the Buffalo Bills, only scoring 3 points, I do believe the spread of 9.5 of them being the underdogs versus the Tampa Bay Bucks is a lot of points. Now, the Tampa Bay Bucks have also been struggling to put up points, and the Steelers defense is somewhat decent. It's just that last week they played against the Buffalo Bills that they have probably top 5 offense right now. So I would not discredit the Steelers defense here. And every time Mike Tomlin plays against Tom Brady, the score is always very close. So I do believe the Steelers will clearly cover the spread of plus 9.5. The Carolina Panthers versus the Los Angeles Rams. They just fired their head coach, Matt Rule, for the Carolina Panthers, and Baker Mayfield, he's not playing. So Washington, the backup, is going to be starting for this game. It's going to be somewhat their revenge game right here, right? So the spread of 10, it's a lot of points. Now, against the Los Angeles Rams, can they put up the same amount of points? The Carolina's defense is stout. They are top 10. So something has to give, right? I do believe the Carolina Panthers will probably lose this game, but will cover an extraordinary spread of plus 10. The Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray versus Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks. This game, guys, is probably going to be one of the closest games in my opinion. It will probably go over the amount of points that right now they're giving, around 50.5. Geno Smith and the Seahawks have the #1 offense in the NFL, but on the other hand, have the 31st ranked defense in the NFL as well. So they give up a lot of points, but they score the most points. Now, Geno Smith has been gunslinging it, making a lot of tough plays. DK Metcalf, they've been putting everybody on notice as well. Now, I do think the Arizona Cardinals are not just in rhythm. Next week, DeAndre Hopkins is set to make his debut in week 7, but that's not going to change the outcome. Right now, the Seattle Seahawks are the underdogs at plus 2.5, and I'll most likely take up this spread because Geno Smith has just been playing lights out. The next game right here, guys, the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This is, in my opinion, the game of the week. This is probably going to be one of the most high-intensity, high-flying two offensive battles right here. The Buffalo Bills are projected to win by 2.5 more, and it's just, I just don't know right here, right? I don't know if I would take any spreads here. I would probably take a money line bet right here, and I'll probably go with the Bills. The Bills right now are more in sync, even though Patrick Mahomes, obviously, he's always going to be a stud, but he has been playing very up and down whenever he does face a tough defense. Now, Josh Allen, on the other hand, whenever he does play a tough defense, he still follows through. They just blew out the Steelers last week. So I do believe, even though it might be a shootout, the Buffalo Bills will win this game, revengefully avenging their loss from last year. Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles, the only undefeated team left in the NFL. The Eagles are projected to win by 6.5 points or more. And guys, I'll probably take the Cowboys spread here plus 6.5. Whenever there is an in-division conference game, the games are always closer than what people think. I still do believe the Philadelphia Eagles will stay undefeated, be 6-0, but the Dallas Cowboys will keep this game very, very close right here, covering the spread. Now, the last game of the week, guys, the Denver Broncos versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson, they haven't been in sync. Obviously, if you ever watch one of their games, they're just not in the same page. They're not in communication. There's a lot of receivers running the wrong routes or making the wrong reads, and Russell Wilson believes they're just making another reads. The offense right now is not where it's supposed to be. They are clearly still in preseason mode. They're not in midseason form. They are clearly not ready to continue winning these games. It's still going to be developing, but the spread of 4.5, the Chargers to win, in my opinion, is going to be very tough because the Denver defense is pretty solid. I will probably take the Denver spread of plus 4.5 right here, and that's pretty much it. Just so you guys can know, the Detroit Lions, the Tennessee Titans, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Houston Texans, they all have a bye week this week. Let me know what you guys think down below my picks, my sure locks. Let me know what you guys think before week 6 and what's going to be happening next week, week 7. Remember to subscribe down to the channel, hit the like button, and see you guys next time, and peace.